mute yourself like
You can
5
be
seconds.
like you can be like Russell Westbrook after there was one game. Like I don't think he played well, and he clearly was in no mood. So he had a cup of ice, and like anytime the reporter would ask a question, he would just shake the cup of ice so you couldn't like hear him or anything. He did this the entire post game media call. It was so great. It was so great.
Bro, I'm so anxious about the NBA right now. Like I need us to get a game on the road. Like it's so tantalizing. When you're 1-1, it's horrible, man. You know, you need a game on the road. It's
Yeah.
fun.
I hear you. My
I'm
team was up. My team was up 2-0, and we couldn't win a game on the road.
right. Yeah, I get that. I get that when I discuss these things, Jeremy, you have your own experiences, and it's like you know where I'm coming from. But
Yes.
I'm pretty confident, bro. In all seriousness, and I'll stick by what I said on the show. Like Ben Simmons benefits from having Embiid in the paint behind him, but how outrageous is it you can actually put Ben on Trae Young, bro? Like, are you kidding me? He's 6'10". Like every other 6'10" guy in the league, it's like a mismatch for Trae Young, right? He's blocking his 3-pointer. He's like staying in front of him for the most part. Dude's an absolute freak.
No, I mean, I think the Sixers will be fine. I don't know about next round. The Nets look unbeatable at this point, but you know that was kind of going to be the case all year. I think. Like,
I agree. To me, it's a matter of let's get to the conference finals. I don't think this Brooklyn team is one that's like planning on staying around for a long time anyway. But we've got to get to the conference finals just to prove that Embiid and Simmons is not like a complete playoff nightmare. Because we should beat these teams. Like we should beat the Hawks. We did beat the Wizards. They're a dangerous team. They have a lot of shooting, but we should beat them. So it's just a matter of you either win this series and I think stick with it, maybe make a couple adjustments, or if you don't win this series, it's time to do something more drastic than that. You know, we'll see. Good evening, folks. We've got 16 people with us here today. I do not know why after the show we just produced on YouTube. Folks in the chat, you can decide what we're talking about here because we don't have a clue. We're spent. Bob didn't even know what to talk about for 3 minutes.
I labeled this as a Q&A show, so whatever you guys in the chat want to talk about, go for it. We got to get O'Neill's takes on equality. Wasn't that the big draw for this show?
I bet you can't give a worse answer than how Paul did on the immediate call. Seriously, Bob, what do you think about equality?
you know, I don't have any actual thoughts. I was just doing the bit because I knew we were almost out of time.
You have no thoughts on equality? I feel like
that's...
Yeah.
I think that people should be treated equally.
Good job.
Good take.
Good job.
Oh my! I was supposed to talk about the Euro today. Maybe next week I'll talk about the Euro. It didn't start yet, so
starts tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm
pretty anxious about that. So pretty anxious about that. I don't know, Bob. It feels like a big opportunity for my national team, who have been consistently shitty in my lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they were going to win the World Cup a couple of years ago.
Can confirm they did not win the World Cup. Very sad.
And then, you know, that World Cup kind of like, oh, I really like Harry Kane, and then I'm like, I'm going to watch him play for Tottenham, and that's been a mistake, so...
Yeah, they suck, bro. They absolutely suck. Tottenham, being born into being a Tottenham fan is the worst thing. And the fact that I chose the Sixers, who are like just equally destined to be losers, is very... And I asked for that too. I said to a pal, I go, give me the NBA equivalent. Sixers was given to me. Very sad. But it was a good choice. I mean, it's exactly what they are. But nonetheless, what have we got here? Dan says, can I book my Samoa Joe King of the Indies run here? I mean, you can do what you want, Dan. I mean, if it upsets me, I won't read it, but you can book it. Look, people think I actually hate TNA Impact Wrestling, which is not true. The Machine Gun Carla Henderson follows me on Twitter. How could I hate Impact Wrestling? But at the same time, I just feel like it's a waste of Joe at this point in his life. That's all, guys. I don't actually care. Who could possibly care? But I just, it seems like it's a good opportunity for him to be on the biggest show that's not WWE and just have a cool little final chapter to his career. He was in TNA when it was basically what AEW is now. Why go back and just who's he going to work? W. Morrissey?
Eddie Edwards, Sami Callihan.
Sorry to hear that.
I knew that answer was coming.
Yeah. Aleister Black said he wants to work Moose or Sami Callihan, and people got mad at me
first
Bro,
two
you got
responses when I heard that. It was on Renee's podcast. When I heard that was his first two responses, I was like, oh man. And then I saw you tweet that, O'Neal.
And then people were like, oh, well, he said like Mox and Kenny and stuff too. Yeah, but he said those two first.
Yes, those were his first two replies. I was like, those are the first names you think of?
Dude, this Aleister Black dialogue is like one of the most just boring, uninteresting things in all my time listening to it. It's like up there. It's basically just people just being like, stop being so positive. And then the other side is like, look at those pieces of shit not wanting to be positive, and then also being equally negative in their anger at those people. And everyone's angry about it. It's just like a guy who just lost his job and he's just talking. If I was his manager, I would say let's not do 18 interviews in the first week after losing the job. But I just find it all be so uninteresting, And both sides, there's no nuance to it. Like, it's just because the thing is, Aleister Black keeps saying that he keeps talking about handcuffs. And like when other guys use the handcuffs thing, it's like war. But because he says other stuff in it, it's like turn the whole dialogue. It's so bizarre. Dude, Matt Cardona completely got people enraged.
Dude,
doing
that was such.
He's actually good, guys.
Yeah,
he's actually good.
That was such a good interview. I have another article coming from that interview.
That's good
as well.
Very good.
It was so good, and I knew like the headline people would be like, "Oh, what? How is he saying this?"
So angry.
Yeah. Because obviously, I pick and choose that single line because I knew it would make a good headline? Yes, I did.
I think that's what he wanted, though.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. But like, if you listen to the whole thing of it, like you see what he actually you can see it's a promo and you see what he's actually talking about. And if you listen to the whole interview, you get the tone and everything. But it was so good, that line. I was like, yep.
Oh, what was you going to say? I cut you off.
Well, and I think him coming in and making people think he was Mox was a very good thing too. I mean, he's doing a good job building a match that I otherwise probably wouldn't care about or want to pay attention to. Because I don't care about Matt Cardona, and Nick Gage is what he is. He's got an audience that I don't necessarily fall into. No. But that's a match that I would possibly seek out, and that's pretty cool.
I agree. I think I don't want to be dismissive of the Matt Cardona man because he got himself over many a year ago, which I respect. But that angle is the most I've ever got Matt Cardona.
Yeah.
Because that angle showed like it showed like a physical understanding of pro wrestling. Like, because shooting angles is a very understated part of the business,
You guys
there's a lot of great workers that don't shoot good angles ever. And Cardona, he was awesome in that angle, man. Like, you could tell he was feeling it. It was really good stuff. Hitman Punk, subscribe with Prime. They've been subscribed for 3 months, folks. 3 months watching us talk about absolutely nothing. You can only respect that kind of choice. Now, Bob, I think you were going to say something about Aleister Black. So, was you or did I stop you? I can't remember.
Well, yeah, I mean, kind of like what you said. Just maybe don't go on Twitch every single day, the week you get fired. Yeah. Just kind of let things breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it got to the point where he was just repeating the same stuff over and over.
Yeah, which is not ideal 1 week into free agency. Probably space it out.
It wasn't even 1 week. Like, he was on Twitch 2 hours after he got released.
Yeah.
The thing is, Jeremy and I spoke about this off air, and it's like his biggest crime is probably being a little bit naive.
Yeah.
In wrestling, that is not much of a crime. There's not. Yeah. So, I was never a huge fan because those characters aren't for me, but I think he's a very talented guy. I wish him well wherever he goes. We shall see. Where do you think he's going to go, Bob?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he ends up back with WWE.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the report recently that, they felt he got a raw deal. But I think the other thing is, who's they? Because, he's like, oh, Vince was always a supporter. Bruce was a supporter. I mean, I don't think, John Laurinaitis is calling him being like, hey, man, you're fired.
Was that your Johnny Ace voice?
I mean, that's exactly who called him and told him, though. Or texted him.
But he didn't make that decision unilaterally, I don't believe. Wow. So, Vince is probably signing off on releases, right?
Bro.
Nick Khan doesn't have that much power.
This is what I mean, okay? And, I try my best not to make this come across a certain way, because I mean it like sincerely, I'm not trying to diss anyone, but like, why are people analysing segments on WWE TV when 1 week ago Aleister Black closed a SmackDown, shot an angle, closed a SmackDown, and was released next week, and people are still analysing? What is there to analyse? Clearly, there's no fault, right? Like, it's just. I agree with what you said, Bob. And the thing is,
Joseph.
Yes. Hello.
Have you ever thought about letting it play out?
I have a couple of times. Bob's asked me to a few times, and I've said, I've not. Generally, it's not worked well for me. Look, I think it's all more power to people that let it play out. I'm not even targeting them. I'm targeting not target. That seems very aggressive. I'm talking about the people that are still trying to, piece it together. Again, I'll talk about John Albert. Bless him, John. Sending love your way. You do not need to send 15 tweet threads about Alexa Bliss and Lily, bro. It's all good. Like, they're not thought about it nearly as much as you have at that point. They're literally just doing stuff. They're doing stuff. Enjoy the stuff, don't enjoy the stuff. Either way, it's not. There's no thought needs to be put into it. Alice, again, let me stress. Aleister Black was put into an angle with one of their potential next faces of the company, and he was cut the following week. It's insane.
Yeah, I think maybe the Roman stuff you can say they probably have a plan for, but that's about it.
And that's clearly, I know people hate this kind of speculation, but that is clearly in other people's hands, right? Like Roman's, he's with Paulie, it's being guided elsewhere, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think Heyman has a lot of input in that. And we talked about Heyman on the Brock show, where he's very good when he is in a role where he doesn't have to oversee everything. He's good in a role where he has to oversee everything, but he's good working with specific people.
Look, Heyman is a very weird guy and potentially a pervert, but he is a very good wrestling booker, and you shouldn't lose sight of that because he has his quirks. He is. What a plug by Bob. Good, yeah, you're right. You can get that on Patreon, folks. I don't know what our URL is, but Patreon.
It's just patreon.com/thedistraction.
Yeah, definitely not Fightful. Don't put that in there because that would get us in a lot of trouble. Yeah, Jeff Jarrett podcast, Bob. How violently is your opinion on Jeff Jarrett swung? Because it got so crazy. Okay, look, folks. Here's the deal. I'm going to give you a tease here, right? On next week's show of the Jeff Jarrett podcast, he defends an infamous TNA decision, and he does it well enough that I'm like, maybe he's right. Maybe that guy shouldn't beat Jeff Jarrett.
Did he defend Monty Brown not winning the title?
Maybe.
Oh my! I might have to listen to this.
Bro, he does it in for the last 5 minutes of a 2.5 hour podcast, locked in. He's like, and he just brings him up unopposed, just says it. But he's feeling himself, man. He's hot, he's pulling it up. It's crazy.
He's really good at it.
Yeah, he's very charming.
Is it like
fools guys?
I can't say I've listened, even though Jeff Jarrett did 3 million interviews to promote this podcast and then does the podcast. I can't say I've listened to a ton of this Jeff Jarrett stuff. It does feel like there's a lot of conviction behind his words, and he's very charismatic when he talks about this stuff. I always got the same sense when I watch Kevin Nash shoot interviews. Yeah. Is Jarrett on that level where it's anything Nash said, it'd be like, hey, you know what? Maybe this guy is right. Maybe they should have done this, or they Jarrett's that level.
Yeah,
you can see why he gets so many people on board with his ideas, because he's very charming and he has a cool way about him, right, Bob?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's not, I guess bitter is a word you could use to describe some of the stuff Nash does. Jeff's just kind of, whatever happened. It's good. I didn't expect it to be this good. I knew he's been kind of everywhere. He's got a lot of good stories, but every week has been very good so far.
Did you like it the 15th time that Conrad was like, you're the only guy I could do this with, right? You create a promotion from scratch, and Jeff was like, I didn't think about it that way. It's you didn't? He said it to you every 10 minutes. He reminds you of that, Jeff. You should start thinking about it that way. But speaking of Kevin Nash, where is your relationship at with him now? Because, for those of you who don't know, folks, last week, Bob, as talked about in the distraction, he lost one of his favourite wrestlers to release, which was obviously Big Braun, Get These Hands, man. And, Bob lost him, and we all reached out. We all sent videos Bob's way and just kind of made sure he was okay. And Kevin Nash, on his own accord, reached out and sent some love to Bob. Did you cry, Bob? Was you angry that Kev had brought himself into this? I know you've had issues with Kevin in the past. Where are you at on this whole thing?
It was really nice of him to reach out. I appreciated that. It's all you can really ask for is that Kevin Nash just reaches out to you, takes his time, and sends you a really nice message.
Hmm. Why did he not do the same for me when the Machine Gun Carl Anderson was fired from the World Wrestling Federation?
You know,
I don't think he likes those guys very much anymore. I don't think anyone that was in that angle with the Revival, I feel like that dynamic has changed quite dramatically, but I don't know. I'm just guessing. Folks.
My God,
Revival.
Revival taking everyone's finisher and just having to deal with it.
Yeah, and then having to punch the wall because he hated his job so much.
That upset me. I did not like that finish.
A friend of ours, Bob, I will not name him because I don't want to get him in trouble, but he was like, dude, how funny is it that people that hold lifetime grudges over tweets and subtweets get upset when pro wrestlers vent about their old employer? And I was like, yeah, when you put it that way. like, the thing about the Revival is you actually listen to their interviews, they consistently are like, well, it's, they don't do tag wrestling the way we want to do it, right? Like, good luck to them. And then they just give their truth, they speak their truth, and people get so upset. Like, Bob and I legit got bullied. Like, they tried to bully us out of liking the Revival. Right, Bob?
Yeah. I think a really funny thing about the Revival and social media is, Bailey and Sasha still, go out of their way to talk to them, and they're like, oh, we still like these guys. And then, it's the Bailey and Sasha fans who are leading the charge against them.
Yeah. It's almost like they're just good guys that are a good tag team, and we don't need to analyse everyone, It's all I mean, as for the Machine Gun Carl Anderson, I can't believe he would talk so poorly of the World Wrestling Federation after all they did for him. Can you, Robert O'Neill? Robert O'Neill, 31, can you believe that the Machine Gun Carl Anderson would dare attack the good name of Vince McMahon Jr.? Can you believe this?
You know what the thing is he's got a point. You don't need to rush to thank them, and, you can let things, and we kind of talked about it with Aleister Black, you can just kind of let things simmer for a little bit and gather your thoughts.
I hope
so much, man.
I hope during the next round of releases we get a hashtag fuck off.
So do I. But you know what really is interesting about social media? And I mean this honestly. People are so scared of being perceived as bitter. Even though it's a very human thing. And sometimes you're allowed to just be a little bit angry about stuff. We all have, I'm sure. Whether it's a career thing, a personal thing, whatever it may be. People are so scared of that, they'd rather put out a hollow statement just to get that out of the way. And it's I don't know, man, if you actually are legitimately upset, you can talk about it. I don't think you should be a villain for that. Carl Anderson was fucked by those guys. He was given a 5-year deal and got cut, 7 months into it? It's brutal. I think you should be, I guess what I'm saying is you should be allowed to just have some bitterness and emotion. You don't have to be a walking PR machine,
Yeah. I mean, if I got fired from my job, I would probably not go out of my way to, thank them and commend them. I'd be kind of upset, and then,
Yeah.
I think the thing is,
well, that's why you're just a dick. Bob O'Neill.
That's true. I think a lot of people get lost on it's still a job.
Right.
These people aren't making their livelihoods anymore, and they're upset about it, and that's okay.
Oh man, we just got raided by a bunch of people, and the first thing they heard is O'Neill's voice, so we're screwed. Stephen Larson, appreciate the raid, guys. Hope you guys are well. Like you, we don't fuck Raw.
Wow.
That's where we're at with it.
Yeah, we did just do an hour-and-a-half podcast where I had crisis in the middle of it. But I don't know what to talk about.
Hey guys, if you're new to the channel, we do talk wrestling. We're trying to avoid talking wrestling. It's kind of sucks, We're trying to take Triple H's advice. We don't like it, so we're not going to watch it. We're not going to talk about it. If you guys want us to talk about anything that's not wrestling, leave us a comment and we will go that. Other shit we do on this channel, we play video games and we talk about Mighty Ducks. Go watch the Mighty Ducks show after you watch this show. There you go. That's it. You guys know Fightful. Everyone knows Fightful. Everyone knows Sean Ross Sapp. Apparently he's got a lot of followers and shit. He's an asshole.
Really?
Yeah. He's a complete dick though.
I don't know about that. Seems like a cool guy, but
you don't have to talk to him every day.
True.
True. I gotta work alongside.
He's every time he hits me up, because I don't do any actual work on the site, it's all very positive stuff. You need to log into this, you got access to this. I'm like, sweet man. I haven't got I mean, he never will have to come to me and be like, "This article's bad," because I don't write articles. I just he definitely doesn't watch the distraction. Why would he? Right? He's got stuff to do. So
Sometimes he'll pop in the chat, and he actually likes our show.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, like he actually enjoys our show. Other people that work alongside Sean don't understand our show.
Yeah, I am Crackerjack said you should tweet about your bitterness towards your employer. You should do that.
Yeah.
I like my employer. I have bitterness towards other employers, but
same.
Yeah, I like my employer.
Yeah, I think, Bob, are you bitter? You seem really bitter.
About what? Just in general?
Just in general, yeah.
I'm tired, man. My boss is off this week, so I've had to kind of do more than I usually do during the week.
That's me every single day, though. So, I can't really sympathize with that. I am Crackerjack. To a scoop or breaking kayfabe, I legit got a raise this month. So, I can't try and tweet about raises when a raise kicks in for me this month.
Hell yeah.
Are you the belief that every person in the world could be split into one of two categories? They're either the big LG Doc Gallows or the machine gun Carl Anderson, meaning one type of person, when they are fired, will immediately look for new employment and decide that this is actually an opportunity, while the other will walk around in his garden and get very angry when people look at him. That's what the machine gun Carl Anderson apparently did after he was released. He was just outside his own, could be like, I'm released, let's staring him down. Which of those people would you be, Robert O'Neill?
O'Neill has gone dark.
I'm sorry to hear that.
He wanted to avoid this question so bad that he turned off his camera and he turned off his mic.
What about you, Jeremy?
I'm not someone who's gonna walk around in my underwear, and actually maybe I did that after the last time I got fired. I think that's what it was like summer. I was like, hey, you know what? I don't gotta put pants on today. I was probably bitter for a good month or so, and then after that I was like, all right, I gotta do something with my life. So
what a coward Robert O'Neill is.
He is.
Do you guys think Andrade's debut was kind of underwhelming? Yeah, we spoke a little bit. We didn't get into it in depth, James, but it wasn't great, right? Vicky's interesting. I don't know where I stand on Vicky at this point. I don't think she's a main event manager.
No.
But I also don't know if I'm as down on her as an overall act as some people are, which I get why they are. But I'm just I'm in the middle somewhere. I'm not sure.
I definitely don't think she's a main event manager. I think the problem with Vicky is she's just doing the same stuff she did 15 years ago. It's just the excuse me stuff. And they haven't, you have Team Taz, you have Jake Roberts. These people are consistent on television, even Arn and Tully. They're consistent television staples for them, right? Vicky came out with Nyla, and then they're on TV together, once every 2 months or something. They're not very established on TV. So, I mean, people know Vicky and everything, but when she comes out and does this, it's not the presence you're used to when we've seen what Arn and Taz and Tully and all these guys have established as managers in the promotion. Mm-hmm. O'Neill, when you get fired, do you walk around in your underwear in the garden and get mad when people look at you funny?
I've never actually gotten fired.
Wow.
Every job that I've left on my own accord.
So you're neither the big LG Doc Gallows or the machine gun Carl Anderson. You're the big dog Roman Reigns. Breaking news: Bob O'Neill is the big dog Roman Reigns.
Exactly.
Speaking of the big dog Roman Reigns, Jeremy has told me, Rob, that if indeed Rey Mysterio is booked to face Roman, you'll be taking Jeremy's place on that show, and we'll just spend an hour talking about Roman Reigns and Rey Mysterio. There'll be no discussion of anything else.
That's the special show for next week, that I teased, is that when Rey and Roman gets announced on Friday, as a as someone who was wrong and should take a punishment, I will just take next Thursday's show off, and Joseph, you and O'Neill will do the show next Thursday.
Okay. I mean, at this point, dude, after the shows we've done recently, I would understand anyone that watches or is a part of our show to be I need to take some time away from this thing, because it is a monster at this point. Today's show is honestly one of the most depressing programs we've ever produced. It was just awful. We need AEW back on Wednesdays, desperately. It was very hard watch.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you brought it up, because I do watch the show. I know you don't think I watch it until I come on, but I do watch it. And yeah, you guys didn't really have the energy today. You were upset.
Yeah, I don't know
We
why.
just got yelled at by Triple H. Like, he personally yelled at me. So
Yeah, I mean that doesn't help. Yeah,
yeah, what do you want me to do?
I don't know where I'm at. I don't know where I'm at with LaFed. I suppose I don't know. I don't know what I should do as a media member. I liked that when AEW's on Wednesdays, we could just exclusively talk about that and pretend we wasn't ignoring WWE, even though we was. But then, like on these weeks, it feels like we have to talk about it. Like I don't know, Bob.
I do have a question about the AEW on Fridays. Would you have brought Andrade in then, knowing that your viewership's not going to be as high?
I think so, because as much as I laugh about linear eyeballs, I think it did get social media buzz and whatever that's worth, Bob. I don't know, but relevance matters, right?
I think part of it depends on what we're gonna see out of them and Andrade the upcoming weeks. Like if they do almost nothing with it until they get back to Wednesday, I probably just would have waited until Wednesday. Like, all right, you got a little bit of buzz, but your viewership still not great or anything. But if they start moving into a progressive storyline with him, or they have him wrestle or something, then I think it'd be weird. Like if they have him wrestle on that Saturday Night Dynamite, because it seems like they're trying to make this a big show. They got Omega and Jungle Boy on that show. So if they're going to put him on that show, then all right, you got to bring him in earlier. But if he's just not going to be on TV, or if he's just going to cut a promo or something, because they like to do that, right? They'll bring a guy in and then they just won't use him the next week. I feel like Miro came in and he was off TV for the next couple of weeks. So I think it depends on what they're actually going to do with him moving forward while they're still on Fridays.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's nice that this Friday thing isn't going to be a problem next year, because moving to TBS, they're not going to be preempted, which is cool.
Yeah. The DVR thing was actually quite interesting. Did you see that, Bob?
Yeah, I wish we would get those sort of ratings more often, because I think everyone would be up a little higher.
Yeah.
Maybe not Raw, but SmackDown, I think, would be, because Friday nights, people can go do things for the first time in 15 months. That's part of it.
It's a real thing. I agree.
Getting warmer out, yeah.
It's relevant. I've kind of just consistently, AEW just has that audience, and the viewership number is basically just what percentage of that group of people will tune in live this week. So if it's a blood and guts, a higher percentage of those people will tune in to watch live. So that's why I try to swear, because it is, is what it is. I do think in terms of buzz and relevance, signings like Andrade, even though he's not a megastar, I know even in my friend group, it is a thing, people are like, oh man, another guy's going there. It has that kind of vibe to it where people get excited about it. Because a lot of people that don't watch AEW but know where it is, legitimately do not know who any of the guys actually on the show are. There's people, I know people that are interested by AEW because they like the idea of it. But if I said to them Darby Allin, they'd be like, no.
Yeah.
So they like the idea of who's going to go next, that WCW vibe,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then kind of, related to Andrade coming in, do you think the AAA match is going to stay kind of as it is with Andrade against Kenny, or are they going to try and get that moved?
That'll stay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think so.
How would they move that? What do you even mean by this?
Well, because now you got two AEW guys working for the first time probably in a promotion that's not AEW.
Oh.
Yeah, but I don't think because Kenny is not an actual heel. I'm strict on baby and heel, but they've got so many baby faces for Andrade to work. It's not, do that match there, that's fine.
It's not a match you have to really do, in AEW for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So I get it. I think everyone agrees that, Adam Page is next for the title.
Yeah,
I think the interesting thing with Omega and Andrade is if Andrade wins the title, then it almost feels like, but Andrade is a heel in AEW, but it almost feels like, all right, you've kind of got to mention this on AEW TV. If I'm Andrade, why am I not going on AEW TV and be like, hey, I beat you, now I want that AEW title, especially if he says he's gonna be the face of AEW. So I don't know. I do think that could be a weird dynamic. I also just kind of assume Kenny's going to keep the title.
He might. It's hard to say, isn't it? I think we've all locked Hangman in to win it all out, but who knows at this point? It's it feels like the obvious destination. I don't think they're going to swerve for the sake of a swerve, but like how they handle him losing the other belts remains a mystery to me.
Yeah,
to be honest,
that's why it just feels like he's just gonna keep. I don't know where you go with that. Of does he lose the AEW title? O'Neal's cowardly once again. Does he lose the AEW title first, and that starts like kind of the spiral for him, or does he lose the other belts first and he's like clutching on to the AEW title, and then when he finally loses that one, it's like all right, then he's just completely out of control.
I mean, ideally, I think the AEW title was first, right? It feels like if you do the story, what you just said, while it would be a good story, it feels like by the time he gets to the Hangman match, everyone will kind of know, like, that's the end of that story, you know? Whereas if he has all the belts, you're waiting for the story to start ending. So ideally it's that, but I get that makes Triple Mania and all that stuff confusing. The thing is, like you just said it, there's a chance Kenny just beats Andrade, because I don't know how often Andrade's actually working. Like, I don't know. I assume he's working a lot, but I don't know if he's going to be full-time to be the champ. Kenny's not. But would it be any different with Andrade? Or is he planning on just chilling in Florida and showing up to, do the AEW stuff? Because remember, AEW's going back on the road. It is, a couple nights a week potentially with Rampage. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. I saw some stuff in the chat. I apologise, folks. I've missed much. I was having fun with Robert O'Neill, who's a coward, and left us again in the middle of a heat.
People are debating, what's he gonna? There's O'Neill.
Right.
Are debating on, he's gonna do it. Dan says, I'm not sure. Can he lose the AAA title before he loses the AEW? Crackerjack says, I think you could pull off Andrade as a tweener for the sake of the Omega match. Man Punk says, I think he has to lose the AEW title first. Luis says he will lose the AAA belt, and that'll be the start of the spiral. So opinions are kind of. Is there any chance in the world that he loses the Impact title to Moose on Saturday?
No.
No?
No. No, he'll lose that thing on an actual pay-per-view. Not on one of their, It'll be one where they try to. I would assume they're the ones that get the big buzz, right? You've seen this probably, Jeremy, from covering them. Like when they do an actual pay-per-view and they have to sell it.
Yeah.
There's a different level of buzz. That's where you got to do the title change.
And I mean, their next one is Slammiversary.
Look, I know this sounds like I'm doing a bit. I think there's an actual chance the Samoa Joe thing happens.
I'm for
it.
Like
I could see if I'm Impact and I'm looking at it and I'm saying, okay, the right booking decision is to make a Chris Bay or to make perhaps a Moose. I'm less sure on that one. I'm more confident on Chris Bay, but Ace Austin, whatever. That may be the right booking decision within a traditional, for a traditional lens, but it's like, in terms of business, is Joe not the actual right choice? Like, Joe winning the title will probably do their best for their business. Again, it goes back to the conversation we had earlier. Can they afford Joe? Can they get Joe? All this stuff. So, we will see. I don't know. Someone said first match for Andrade. I think Sydal was the obvious choice.
Just always Sydal. Just.
I think so, right? It makes it, because otherwise, who do you go with as a babyface?
O'Neal, you're up on the AEW roster. Who does...
It's... Matt Sydal seems good. He's a guy that you can come in and work.
Great opinion, O'Neal. To go with Sydal. You really thought outside the box on that one.
Well, someone from Team Taz would be cool, but they're all heels, so...
They are. It's difficult to think of a babyface for this role. So and Andrade's so cool. If you want to make him a heel by putting Vicky with him, you probably want to have a babyface wrestling rather than another heel, right?
I'm thinking of like a Dark Order person, like a Cabana or somebody. I don't know.
See that, and that was one that I was thinking too. So I mean, Colt Cabana doesn't really wrestle too often, though.
I love Colt Cabana, but
he's great.
Yeah. He's not the guy I'm looking for that particular role. I need a guy that's going to just get the ever-loving shit kicked out of him by spinning elbows and, I don't know if Colt's the guy to take those bumps. Sydal's an immense pro wrestler. I thought he's a good fit. They could have a really good, tight, 10-minute match, 8-minute match, something like that. But we shall see. I mean, there's so many matches we can line up once he gets settled, right?
Yeah.
Also, there's no limit on what he can do.
I thought we were doing a Q&A sort of thing, and we haven't gotten any questions, I don't think. So
you never stop. You always make it about you, Bob. That's why the chat's upset about it. Okay, folks, we will start reading. I'm sorry, everyone. Okay. Okay, what we got here? Why not Jungle Boy? I personally think he's too high on the card, and also the date that we've booked his debut is the same night when Jungle was working for the title. So
yeah, they're not doing the Jungle Boy match first.
Yeah.
Almatic says Danny Limelight. That's a good call.
That's a very good call.
Like
that's the kind of that's the prototype you're looking for, I think.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying with a Seidel, Danny Limelight type guy. I think Seidel is actually it's a very good choice, and I was just trying to go with someone different to be a contrarian. Or just toss another name out there.
If he hadn't missed any time, John Silver would be the best Dark Order shout. But obviously, it doesn't make sense with him being out. So
I'm not even sure like you'd want to beat John Silver either. Like it's got to be a guy who you can just kind of beat. Like they like John Silver. I think they see a lot in him.
I think Colt Cabana is like 5 inches taller than Andrade, and that rules so much. Like, just putting them next to each other would be very sad.
Yeah. I'm glad they like John Silver because he rules.
Yeah.
So that's good. I hope he's back. He should be back soon, right? I think.
You're the Scoopster, Bob. You tell me you're Kevin Nash's friend.
Wow.
Does Kevin Nash know who John Silver is?
No. Definitely not.
No.
Definitely not.
Not a chance.
I had a question for Bob. Were you bailing out a few minutes ago because you were Jeffrey two bindings? I'm supposed to know what that means. Is that a reference to something really crass, guys?
To an extent, yes.
What does it mean, Bob? Explain it.
What it means either.
So this is guy.
Is that really jerking off? Like
yeah, it was the guy that was on
Zoom?
CNN that got fired for
I'm
pranking.
sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Okay.
Who asked that?
Bill's Mafia asked it.
At least it's someone who, I follow and follows me and gets the reference, not just some random person asking me.
Well, I would assume it was, somebody you followed. I think it'd actually be better if it wasn't. Just like
Bob's explanation of that was so funny. Just this guy, like you said, it's so like just this guy on CNN. He got thrown cranking off on Zoom. Nothing much. Serpentico is out for him. We don't want Serpentico to die at the hands of Andrade, okay?
No.
Guys, Seidel was not Christian's first match.
And I get it, you guys
Frankie
are trolls.
Kazarian
That's
was.
your whole gimmick.
And he's the elite hunter now, so it can't be him. Bud Ryan has subscribed to Tier 1. He has been subscribed for 6 months. Tremendous. He says, congrats on squeezing every drop out of the limit. Oh, indeed. What a terrible show. Oh, shit. The confirmed shoot has arrived. Let me get through this first. Bud Ryan says, let's all hold on till Wednesdays are back. But we just resigned ourselves to the next win. Oh, absolutely. It is tragic that we're an actual good team this year and they're, like, historically great, apparently. Ask Bob if he's been to the Hampton Inn and Suites lately.
Why is he here? Why doesn't he have He watched the Corner 3, too. I didn't know he was here. I usually think he's not here. I thought he had something better to do.
He's a patron, He's a patron.
He is, I know.
When he became a patron, I sent him a direct message and was like, just so you know, none of this money will go to Bob O'Neill, so rest easy. Confirm shoot. Folks, for those of you who don't know, Confirm Shoot is the gentleman that has appeared on our programme to just loudly scream, yeah, really loudly into a microphone. So if you ever wondered who that was, it was Confirm Shoot.
Need to get him on the Robert O'Neill Hot Corner to talk about the Marlins.
Yeah, that sounds like a bad idea. I'm happy to have him on the show, but not like that. That sounds like something we shouldn't do. He's the leader of the All Elite fleet. He gave me my license to come on board. So,
speaking of the Hot Corner, can I just talk about Jack Crosby real quick? And this is something I've said to him too, so I don't feel bad saying it on here. But is this Karrion Kross thing a bit?
No, he actually likes. He called him Killer Cross today.
I like Jack. I think Jack's one of my favorite people. But that's rough.
That's why Jack is actually good, though, because he genuinely could not give a shit about any of our opinions and will have his own regardless.
Yeah.
So, he's like, I can't slander Jack right now because I'm using his immense contact list as for a favour on a personal level. So,
are you? Wow.
I usually love you, but now it's even next level. I am indeed. I'm using him for many things going on, Joe. I'm always up to say it. But nonetheless, He's one of the great men, but he once famously came on our show and was like, I've seen these idiots on Twitter tweeting about what the next War Games match will be. He's like, I think you tweeted that, Joe. I was like, yeah, I did tweet that. Thanks, Jack. He shoots, man. He's Jack Crosby.
No, Jack rules.
He's going to be on the TakeOver pre-show pretty soon. I'm pretty certain. Did you see Triple H, who's never told a lie or said anything stupid, said that media members are going to be on the TakeOver pre-show moving forward? My guy Justin Barrasso is going to be on there on Sunday. I assume that I will be on there pretty soon as NXT guy Jeremy Lambert. So get ready, guys. Get ready to see me on the NXT TakeOver pre-show within this year.
I think I'm going to be invited to that one.
Really?
Something tells me. No, I don't think so. No,
I cover
feel like
NXT every week, though.
You might be, but you've never, on a podcast called it like the Nonce Protection Agency, have you? I've done that, so, we shall see. Maybe I like Justin a lot. Very nice to me. Put over my articles when no one was reading them, so I appreciate that. I wish him well. I hope he has a good time on Sunday. See some shitty wrestling live in action. No, there'll be good wrestling. I would go to the show if I was invited to it for free.
Justin follows me on Twitter, so that's enough for me. He's good.
Really? Oh man, I thought Justin was just like, enjoyed the big time people like me, but to know that like he follows dorks.
He might watch our show. He may know Bob from our show.
Maybe. I don't know. He's always said nice things about me.
When did he follow you, Bob?
Within the past 6 months or so.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's from you guys.
Don't worry, you don't have to thank us. It's cool.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, sometimes like Jeremy tweets, mentions me in a tweet, and will say something nice about me. Well, I don't think he ever has actually, but
yeah, I have to stop those. I gotta knock those off.
Jack Crosby is legitimately the GOAT guest factual, even if somewhat rude as Bob sits here. No, that's true. Bob's not even O'Neill.
Even O'Neill is gonna admit that Crosby's a better guest.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Feels fresh, doesn't get oversaturated, very strong and relatively good opinions. Like relatively relevant there.
There's a reason that Jack is on like 4 times a year and I'm on every week, twice a week or whatever.
Jack wants to be on like every week, I feel like. He's like, oh, I'm coming on for this show now? I'm coming on for this show? Jack just books himself and we're happy
Jack
to do it.
has actual like stuff to do though. That's the thing. Like
that's why I'm using his immense list of contacts for my benefit right now. He's actually a very connected guy. He could be lost on you when you talk to him about professional wrestling. He puts over Karrion Kross, just how connected he is, because he's a very relevant guy in the media landscape. And I don't mean wrestling, I mean sports media. Like he knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah. Jack unfollowed me once on Twitter, and I'm like, oh, that sucks, but I guess it makes sense.
Should have left it that way.
Didn't realize it for like 2 months, and he followed me back. He sent me this nice message, like, I don't know what happened. That was a mistake. I'm sorry. And I'm like, oh, don't worry about it, man. It's all good.
I've done that before. I blocked somebody for a bit and didn't realize it, and then unblocked them, and then realized that was the mistake, and then blocked again.
That was the real rip, the unblocking.
Joseph blocked me for a bit once, and it did not go well for him.
No, it didn't.
Really?
He sent every one of his friends to like abuse me on Twitter.
Why were you a dick, O'Neill?
I said one joke to one of them, and they were like, "This guy's a piece of shit," and blocked me as well. I'm like, what? Just why? Like, obviously a bit. I blocked him because he said like Ben Simmons couldn't shoot the free. Like, I know this. Obviously, it's a bit. Everyone, calm down.
I had to block some people after Tuesday night. Just people I didn't want to. There's mean people in the mentions after sports games, Joseph. You're gonna tweet some shit. Fine, get your opinion out there. But don't come in my mentions with that shit. You get blocked.
Why go in anyone's mentions? Like, how lame, Like, unless you're like a friend and I talk to you often. Like, if you're just a mutual that I've never interacted with, you don't watch my content, consume it, and we haven't discussed like anything before. You're insane if you think I want your opinion in my mentions. You know what I mean? Like, if I tweet, like for example, I haven't tweeted this, but let's just say I tweeted, Andrade is the best AEW signing ever. If I have not spoken to you before, do not be fooled and think that I care what your best AEW sign is. I do not. I don't care at all. Now, I will have fun with some friends, good brothers in the chat here that I talk to a lot. But I'm not talking to, just some at-wrestle chatter shit, and I'm not doing it. I'm Cricket said, Jack also has great AEW drafting skills, which no better to see that. Extended by saying, Crosby taking Tully in the 5th round, the 5th round is up there with Jeremy taking Kip Sabian. Oh, man, that's great stuff. I'm sorry to hear that.
We got Miro out of Kip Sabian, at least.
We don't really do anything with him, though.
Because we traded him for Moxley.
Well, Dan, I may actually not. If I don't respond to tweets, I'm very sorry. I get. Jeremy can tell you that my Twitter's a little bit, it's a little bit tumultuous at times. If you look, you don't have to consume my content. A lot of my best friends on Twitter definitely don't watch or read anything I do, but like you have to be someone I talk to regularly enough to just come in with like unsolicited opinions, because generally I do not care. You know,
Yeah.
I don't try to be part of the dialogue, and like I just want to just tweet. Let me tweet. Let me be.
I'm the same way. I'm very
Yeah.
much, dude. So one of the mentions, I was venting about the game on Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
And a former website that I used to write for, like, quote
Oh.
tweets and is like, this is a silly opinion. And I was like, or it was like, oh, I've seen this a lot. And like, are people not watching the game? I was like, bro, I'm just trying to vent. Like, just let me be angry right now. And they're just like, you can do this without having silly opinions. And I was like, you don't even follow me anymore. I don't write for you anymore. Like, can you just stay the fuck out of my mention, especially trying to do like a quote tweet dunk when I'm just angry about this game. And so that was just like an immediate block.
Yeah, the quote tweet, Bob's one of the worst at this, but the quote tweet stuff is unbearable.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah, no, it's not great. I used to do it a lot, but now
We're all friends here. You were a raging arsehole, wasn't you, once, Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about this before several times. I mean,
yeah, no, I'm messing around. I've been there too. I've been really just a dick to people on social for no reason, and they end up being my friends because I realise, you should probably take things a little easy, not get carried away on Twitter. But it is important always to stress, folks, that Robert O'Neill was once a piece of shit.
Yes.
Even if he was neither the big LG Doc Gallows or the machine gun Carl Anderson, because he would never lose a job because he's Bob O'Neill. Roberto, you still haven't changed your name to Roberto Neil. Why?
Like I told you, I'm gonna just do it one day, not tell you, wait for you to notice. Like when I posted that you got mad at me for asking when or if Joel Embiid was gonna be at SummerSlam, and I just waited for you to find it, and then you did, and it was great.
Joel Embiid in a wrestling match would be like a complete. Daryl Morey would just be like covering his eyes the whole time. Like he goes up to the top rope, just ends. His whole legs fall off. Terrible scenes.
Well, it is funny because, like, you think of the Karl Malone, Dennis Rodman stuff. No team would clear anyone to do that now.
Thing is, like Rodman
Malone's
one thing. Yeah, like Rodman is, like what would he have if they had said to him, no, you can't make that money, Dennis? Like he probably just retires from basketball. So he didn't have much choice,
Yeah. Well, he missed like one practice day of the finals to go be on Nitro, so it worked out.
That's
for him.
goat level shit right there. Honestly.
Right. Imagine not loving Nitro, and like what a time in the business that was.
Yeah.
Like you just know for a fact that if it was the World Wrestling Federation, Vince would have like cleared all the dates. Bischoff was just like, you can get there, cool, see you there, man. Like,
Well, they wanted Rodman for WrestleMania 13 because that was in the Chicago area, according to Bruce, which I haven't heard that anywhere else. But and I guess they just couldn't make it happen. And then Nitro gets it, or WCW gets him, 3 months later during the finals.
yeah. I also I'm Cracker Jets Crick. Fuck Karl Malone, of course. That goes without saying. Easiest choice Robin ever made. Yeah, Nitro, bro. That's about his peak Nitro. The Nitro where they show up in the limousine, and Rodman like comes in with the NWO, and they've got like cigars, and it's just it's just peak pro wrestling. And when I say peak pro wrestling, I don't mean the best match, the best promo, because neither of those things it's good for. It's just like a moment. Like it's like, wow, what a spectacle and event this is.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's never gonna be that cool again.
Nothing's that cool anymore, right?
No.
Culture's just not that way, man. Everyone can, whatever you're into now, you can fill your day watching just that,
Mm-hmm.
Like, everything that's popular, there will be a group of people that explain why it's actually very dorky. And they'll be correct, because everything is in fact dorky. Like, it's what it is, it's just, everything's lame now, folks. What do you want from us? There is no Dennis Rodman Shannon. They're not going to show up with the Elite, are they? Someone from Draymond Green's not going to come out with Matt and Nick Jackson. He might. I doubt it,
Draymond Green might come out with Matt and Nick Jackson.
Draymond would be a tremendous pro wrestler, but he'd definitely be one of those guys that is not a good promo at all in the wrestling setting. Like, he would definitely be a bad talker.
Yeah. He'd be horrible. Like, yeah.
Most guys would be, right? Like, guys you think are good talkers, in a wrestling setting would probably suck.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a different thing. Here's what it is. Bob, do you think you'd be a good wrestling promo?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Agreed.
I can't talk in front of people. I can barely talk, for 3 minutes in front of the 1,000 people that watch this show.
Whoa. 1,000? We did like 5K last week, Robert O'Neill.
Yeah,
granted,
but
probably about 400 make it to your segment.
Exactly. How many stick around?
Well, have you know that about 33 people watched our last Patreon podcast, so Bob has got a lot more confident though, right?
That's
Jeremy?
good considering we only got like 47 patrons, so...
That might not be true. I made it up.
Yeah. Oh, Bob has gotten a lot more confident on this show. I feel like, we've built him up very well. We've given him this confidence. It's good to see. It's very good to see.
It's pretty good pals.
Did you see, by the way, that the great Andrew Thompson subscribed to our Patreon?
I did not see that.
Like, can you imagine you're Andrew Thompson? You're like, yeah, I'm gonna support these dickheads.
I can't imagine such a decision.
No, he's another guy that's like a big deal with actual stuff to do. And
yes, that's why I don't know why he's giving us any money.
No, he's very good at what he does, the Andrew. We need to get. I haven't spoken to Andrew in a long time. Very sad.
He's always the problem with trying to get Andrew on is most of our shows, our two big shows, are Tuesdays and Thursdays. And those are the days he's doing the news report. And so he doesn't have time to do our show. Like, I think we could probably do the Monday show with him if he wants to come on and talk TakeOver and Against All Odds. And, we do a bunch of shows and everything. But our big shows are Tuesdays and Thursdays. And again, that's when he does the news reports. So we just didn't have time to do those shows.
I had something good to say, but I don't know if I should say it on air. Bob, who's squashing their beef on wrestling Twitter?
What?
Various people along with, Sean.
Oh, really?
It's interesting because a lot of the people that I associate with don't really like Sean all that much for, and it's unfortunate. I like Sean. He's a good guy.
I just told you he's a dick. So
I just think it's good for people to, reach out, and if you have a problem with someone, discuss it with them, because chances are you'll be able to solve it.
Yeah, I get that. It's just difficult, right? A lot of people are very gotten to, but then they get angry at someone else getting a defensive on Twitter. And it's we're all kind of defensive because we're all dorks to talk about wrestling on Twitter. So being confused why Sean would react to people saying his reports are bullshit feels like it's not actually that confusing. It feels like it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
I get why that would upset him, to be honest.
He did tell me the other day that he wants to fight me at SummerSlam, so that's awkward.
Why is he gonna do that at SummerSlam? Like, why doesn't he wait until you're going to Full Gear, right? Are you doing All Out as well, O'Neill? I know you gave your tour, but I wasn't.
I'm not doing All Out because I'm going to New Orleans later in that month. So yeah, but I will. I mean, I'll be around for Full Gear because it's down the street from my house, and some other folks.
Why are you not going to Full Gear, Bob? Why are you?
He should fight you at Full Gear. That's where the big audience is. Joseph and I are going to be there.
Man.
I was.
How is Bob not going to Full Gear? This is ridiculous.
I was told by a friend of the show, Confirmed Shoot, that I am going to Full Gear.
You are. Yeah. I agree. He's in the chat. Yeah, it's true. Why would you not, dude? Imagine the amount of fun we're going to have at Full Gear.
I know, but here's the thing about an AEW pay-per-view is there's 4 or 5 matches I don't care about.
You're going to go to SummerSlam, and there's only going to be 4 or 5 matches you don't care about.
That's fair. That's a good point.
This guy, Bob O'Neill, he's talking about matches he wants Brock to have, and I'm like, okay, tell me which ones, because I was interested. He said Shane McMahon was one of the matches, one of the top 5 WWE matches for Brock to have.
I stand by that.
This is where you're at in your Fed fandom, and you're talking about how you wouldn't care about a few matches on the AEW. It's going to be awesome. The crowds make noise as well for AEW. It's very cool.
That is a really cool building for wrestling, too, because they were renovating the other building, and they did a SmackDown house show there a couple years ago. It's very small and, intimate, and it's cool. I like it.
I am Craig Jet said, how are all of these places down the street from Bob? Which is factual. Whatever the event is, Bob's like, it's only 10 minutes away, 20 minutes. Yeah, he's going to come on January 2nd or whatever it is, and he'll be like, yeah, man, I might go to Wrestle Kingdom, it's down the street from here, and perhaps I'll see it. There's a couple matches I don't care about, though. I'm probably Ospreay, but,
I mean, Vegas isn't down the street for me, but the events in St. Louis, they are probably about 10 minutes from me.
You got to go, bro. Whiskey Deer, I I can't say I'm confirmed because there's too many moving pieces, but like that's the intention for sure. Many pals are now hoping I'll be there. I feel I have expectation now on my shoulders.
You do.
I want to be there I want to be standing next to the confirmed shoot, the Jeremy Lambert. I want to be standing next to who other good brothers are there? Oh, the Oracle of Wrestling is going to be there.
Coming. Yep.
All of us in a line while Wild Thing plays for an opening bout between Eddie Kingston and John Moxley versus FTR. Leave after that and what a show. You know?
I like that I didn't get included in your list of.
You said you're not going, Bob.
I just told you I am.
I'm trying to sell it to you, so I wouldn't sell it to you by saying you're going to be. That would be absurd. Okay, I'm glad. I want you to be there, Bob. As Terry Funk once told Dennis Stamp, I want you there. I want you there. The wrestling world revolves around Bob Factual. Many DMs, Bob, right? Many wrestling DMs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot.
Good answer. Yeah. The Jericho cruise ship is down the street.
Oh my god. Absolutely not.
Oh yeah, that would not be a scene for you, right?
No, it just because there's no escape from it. That's the thing about that. Like you're surrounded by everyone all the time, and
yeah, people suck.
Like at least in Vegas, Saturday night, I'll go to the show or whatever. But then I have Sunday and Monday to just hang out and lose all my money.
Are you a gambling man?
Well, are you a gambling man, Bob?
I mean, I will be in Vegas.
That means yes. Is Manny Pacquiao fighting in Vegas the same night?
Yes.
Bro, you gotta try and double dip.
It's gonna be too expensive, but they are saying that SummerSlam's gonna be over by the time the fight starts. So
I did it. I did Royal Quest in London, Okada and Suzuki. Then when that ended, train to the O2 Arena for Lomachenko versus Luke Campbell. Tremendous night of double dipping. Tremendous. You should try Pacquiao on SummerSlam. Holy shit.
It'd be fun. I mean,
Pacquiao is I know you're like a huge boxing fan, but you don't dislike it, and he's an icon. I know he's going to win that fight, but he's an icon.
Yeah.
Confirmed shoot. Friend of the show says, Rob, what if Braun is on the cruise, though? Dude, Braun may actually be on the cruise. That seems like a booking he would take, because Jericho and him are almost certainly friends, right?
Yeah. I mean, people got mad at Braun because he wants, however much money to work. I mean, he main event. Well, he didn't main event WrestleMania, but he won the title from Goldberg a year ago.
He main evented WrestleMania Backlash. Oh no, he didn't main event that show either. Braun actually just tweeted, and as I was working, as you dorks were talking, I was working. He actually tweeted that he's not spoken to anyone about bookings. So he's basically saying this 5-figure number is incorrect.
Dude, that means that Braun is basically saying, I ain't 5 figures, hit me up. This is big news, Bob. He's coming back. Where do you most want him as a fan? Because I know you love him. Where would you most want to see him?
I would be surprised if he wrestled anywhere that was not WWE.
Okay, but where do you want to see him, Robo?
I don't want to see him anywhere. I mean...
Dude, why do you always pretend this in front of people? Just don't be embarrassed by it, man.
I always say, sorry to see Braun Strowman, and that's not a bit. I'm generally very sorry to see him. I mean, I liked his last 2 pay-per-view matches.
O'Neal, I feel like you could book Braun Strowman now, because it hasn't been... He doesn't want the 5 figures.
Hey,
you could book him to be right down the street from you.
Hang on. It's just clicked for me. This is perfect. New Patreon series, okay? Rebuilding Braun, Bob O'Neal on TEW. And the promotion is just Braun. Just Braun and local employees that he can bring in to fight over Braun. 30-minute TV show every week. Just let Bob cook. What are we thinking, folks? This feels like money to me.
How is this a series, Joseph? It's just.
What do you mean?
It's just 30-minute shows of just Braun every week on TEW.
Just see what he does with Braun. He has 30 minutes to get Braun. Rebuild him every week. The promotion is called Braun. BP Dub crossover. Braun Pro Wrestling. You pick people from the local talent and just bring them in for a one-night deal. Yeah, I mean, I don't have TEW, so that's really I don't have a Windows operating system, which is bad. But Okay. Maybe you could have like.
You can do it on the Pro Wrestling Sim. Somebody asked us earlier if we'd still played that game. I don't think Joseph actually bought the game. And
I don't even play TEW at this point, bro. I just come up with ideas for TEW and never play it. It's very sad.
I have not played it since we played it on stream. I played my TEW because I had the Pro Wrestling Sim game. I guess it's on Steam, so I could play it on anything. But the computer that I have in bed is the TEW computer that I just play that on late at night.
Tope Suicida says, OMFG. Billy is 100% going to try and bring in Braun versus Aldis.
Oh, he wants Braun. He's very high on Braun. Whether or not he can get him.
And I want a lot of things too.
It's a different story. But yeah, Billy has spoken very highly of wanting Braun and everything. So,
I mean, they might as well, right?
No, they have no money, Bob. Listen, man, if they've got the money for that, they wouldn't be booking Tyrus. They'd get someone better.
How does Billy Corgan have no money?
Dude, it's a very different kind of money. What you and I talk like, it's different. There's a reason he goes on a tour every time he's about to start booking the NWA. Right? It's different. It's just like he's not built to be spending that much money on a shitty pro wrestling promotion that makes very little money. I mean, look, apparently they make $18 million off the Fight TV deal. So maybe I'm wrong.
Is that the number?
It certainly seems like they've got that money. $85 million, yes.
Wait, is it 18? Is it 85?
$194 million
okay.
for the
They just got to keep going up the middle, Joseph. They keep going up the middle, and in the end, they're gonna be the top company.
I had something good to say about the NWA, but why would I? It's shit. Braun Strowman. Joseph, every show Braun has ever wrestled... Every show Braun has ever wrestled on got industry record TV deals. Confirmed shoot with a confirmed fact.
Good point.
In the Twitch chat.
Points are made.
Braun, I was only going to do the, the Eddie Hearn clip. Got over on wrestling Twitter because people stole it from me, where he's like, "I'd like to have a 11-inch penis," but that's what I thought of when I heard you say Billy wants Braun Strowman. Cut to Eddie doing that deal. Confirmed Shoot's a big fan of the Eddie clips too. So's Jack Crosby. He loves the Hearn, doesn't he?
They're good. You used one on me.
I did.
With the Karrion Kross thumbnail.
Yeah, I was very proud of that.
That's good. I hadn't seen him in a while. Maybe I just hadn't been paying attention, but I haven't seen him in a while.
No, I go, I'm like, man, I'm all in, and then I just forget about it. And it's just difficult.
You used to send them to me a lot more often too, and you don't anymore.
Well, I talk to you in real life now, so it feels like a lot. Well, real life's a stretch, but I speak to you like this, which is a lot more than just us like quoting each other every once in a while.
A lot of our conversations are in the DMs now, anyway.
Yeah, where Bob will come in and he'll be like, "Look at this piece of shit." And I'll go, "Yeah," and then I'll tweet response, and I message response, and he just doesn't come back. That's the end. He just uses me as like a sort of shield, just like, "Look at this arsehole." I'm like, "Yeah, he actually did this, that, and that," and he just Bob
Fightful Faithful.
Never. See, he's a big star. What do you want me to do?
One Wing subbed. Thanks for the follow.
If they bring in Braun and job him to Aldis, the distraction NWA might become a reality. Yeah, that would be like a business, just self-destruct button, right?
Yeah.
If they actually get him, he has to win the title.
Yes, 100%. That's one guy who could actually take the title.
Imagine the finish they'd come up with for that match.
Oh god.
Same belt that Race and Flair and Strowman held.
It rules. The idea of Braun as touring champ rules so much. Just going around having terrible 4-minute matches with local heels, just killing them.
Also, the belt would look so small on him.
Yes, indeed.
Is there a free agent? It's 10 pounds of gold.
I'm going to upset our pal Confirm Shoot here, but the free agent that could actually be a touring champ is Bud Murph, right? Bud Murph just going around doing 25-minute matches where he lands on his head 8 times. I know the pal Confirm Shoot wouldn't want this because he wants to be a member of the All Elite Fleet, but he could do it. Joe doesn't want to be doing that shit anymore.
No.
I know. Certainly. There was something yesterday, a bunch of independent promoters are trying to get Buddy Murphy because they know he can have good matches with their people. And it's no shit. Thank you for that report. Not everything you reported.
Where did that come from?
I was just thinking about that.
You are right, though. Those things are so that's what you're gonna book. Of course. What else would you book him for? That's his thing. He has good wrestling matches. Duh. It's pretty silly.
A lot of people call him Better Omega.
Literally everyone. O'Neal, literally everyone calls him Better Omega.
What is this? Where is this joke from?
I got it from Jeremy.
What is the? I don't get what the. I understand that everyone compares them.
Yeah.
But what is the literally everyone thing? Is that just your thing that you now have made a bit?
Yeah, because I don't think I've ever heard anyone call him Better Omega, but I have seen plenty of people say, like, you know, the comparison is always there. So when he got released and everything, I just decided to say literally I was just pissing off people. And of course, you know, dorks with Kenny Omega avatars are in my mentions, like, no one ever calls him that. It's like, yeah, no shit. But, you know, you go literally everyone, people get mad.
My genuine take on it is, he's like, because he's such a non-promo that Bud Murphy's like Kenny without all of like the wacky personality, which I think is why I prefer him. He just does the awesome and he has no personality, so I don't even have to judge him on that front. I'm just like, yeah, he's a worker, that's fine. He's like an athletic Bobby Eaton. He's fun. Ignoring free agent Joe Hennig as the ideal NWA get. Hey man, I'm rooting for Joe. I don't know where he's at, but I'm rooting for him. Same belt held by Race, Flair, Rhodes, Funk, Briscoe, and Hulbert. Indeed. I could cut a hell of a promo for that belt, you know. Could be special, man. We could sell a stadium in the UK, I feel. Get some coverage on national news. The match would be a challenge, I feel. I'd need to get colour early and we'll make it a bloodbath. Shades of 1988 Dusty Rhodes.
You know, I was watching an NWA thing on YouTube with like Nick Aldis and Trevor Murdoch or whatever.
Sorry to hear that.
It's yes, but it's the Conrad Thompson money moment of the week. So I didn't know he was involved with them as well. So good for Conrad.
Conrad Thompson's involved with everybody too. Dude, he sponsors this show. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, man. He's like, he goes, so I'm on this ad-free gimmick, and it's like, he has a show where Ian Riccoboni and Kerry Seal can just like talk about Ring of Honor posters, I think, or something happened. I was like, when did this show happen? What is? And the crazy fact, Conrad, and I've said this to Jeremy off it, but I truly mean it, I respect the hustle. That man does a lot of podcasts with guys that ain't easy to do podcasts with. Oh, yeah. But his take on every promotion and era of wrestling is, but man, I enjoyed it. I'm not hating on it. Because he knows he can podcast with anyone. And the irony of it is, the one guy he consistently dunked on was Jeff, and he now does a podcast with him anyway.
Yeah.
He's bulletproof,
no,
brother.
You know what? Credit to him, because, you know, he does like 7 podcasts a week. I'll do 2, and I'll want to not watch wrestling anymore.
Yes. Can relate. His team's very good at what they do. Seriously, they are very, very good at what they do. I would never actually... I understand it's popular to be like, Conrad, but like, I genuinely think he maximises every podcast personality for what they could be, which means some of them are not as good as others, but he makes the most of it. You know, like the format, he does a good job with that.
Yeah, and he does research for all of them too. I mean, it's not just, you know, this happened, and he's good. He's good at it.
Somebody does research.
Yeah, someone gives him.
I don't think Conrad is going through all these old observers.
It's like a full-on format, right? You said before, like they have a full-on. You know, both guys have a full-on format, and it's like it's a whole lot of stuff going. It's not what we do here. We just sort of talk shit and get mildly depressed in the middle of the program because Mickey James said something. I mean, it's not. What's your thoughts on that, Bob? So you want to go to the All Women's pay-per-view? Is that? Let's be honest with each other because we're friends. Is that a brand play for goodwill on Twitter, or are you just simply trying to do a favour for Mickey James in hope that she'll work for your new backyard federation down the street, which features Braun Strowman?
No, I think it'd be cool if it was anywhere except for St. Louis. I probably wouldn't travel to it, but you know, it's here. I might as well go. I haven't done anything the past year and a half because of the pandemic. The last really like sporting event in general I went to was the Royal Rumble. So I'm just bored, man. I want to go do stuff.
I don't know if you enjoy that show, but I really hope you do, because if you
it
log
depends
on,
who's on.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be like I'm going, and then they book,
I mean, you're getting
that's
Cena and Roman in the main event.
Did you hear what Bob said?
Who'd he say? Seth Rollins?
He goes, I'm not going if they book Tessa Blanchard in the main event.
Oh, is that what he said? I thought he said
imagine Mickey after like doing all this stuff the right way. He's like, yep, Tessa's working on top. It's her, and it's like, damn, that'd be tough. It's a good question. It's a really good question. Toby so said, it says, how quickly would Bob let Mickey James murder?
I mean, you know how it is.
Quickly, that means, right?
Did we know how it is?
I actually have no idea how it is when you look.
Yeah, I have
Like
no
I-
idea how it is, O'Neill. You gotta tell us how it is.
That's become a really good bit too. When Joseph will be like, "Oh, you know, if I was Robert O'Neill, I'd say I'd like her to murder me, but I'm not."
It's the best. I think it was the TNA podcast when I was like, "Who have you most asked to murder you on Twitter?" And Bob goes, "Liv Morgan." Just immediately, without any wind up or delay, Liv Morgan. It's like, sure, man.
That's right, though.
I'm not saying you're lying. It just popped me to
Do you
get
have
such a prepared answer.
stats? Do you have stats on like how much you've asked these women to murder you?
No, I mean you can look through my tweets. I wouldn't. Look
I'm
through
not.
them.
You tweet a lot. I'm not looking through your tweets.
Confirmed shoot says Tessa vs. Evilise with Bob as the special guest referee.
Yeah, I would probably not attend if that was gonna happen.
I assume you'd rather they not murder you.
That's correct.
Just
Yes.
in terms of morality here, we're not talking about appearance. We're just talking, not an ideal way to die, is it really?
Yeah.
Where? Let's. I'm gonna search this. It's very sad.
What are you going to search? Would I like to get murdered by police?
I do. Liv Morgan, Robert O'Neill.
Oh no! Oh no! We're gonna get Bob out of here live on air, folks. This is the end is not. I'm also intrigued how creative he gets with the murderers, because sometimes he does outrageous ones.
Okay. This exact phrase. Now, I guess all these words, Liv Morgan. It's gonna be bad.
It's really scary.
Remember right when we started this when you're like, "Oh, there's a bunch of viewers from the raid. Have they all left?"
Yes.
There's still 47 people watching this. Kylo, shout out for you sent us an intro track.
God, O'Neill.
It's the same picture. It's a bit. All right.
It's not even like that. Like some of these, I see these picture ones, the non-picture ones. There's so many. When? Holy fuck! How far do these go back?
Could legit just get arrested for this at some point. This is a level of insanity we wasn't prepared for. This is dangerous, folks. We're giving this guy a platform. Yeah. Okay. We got an interesting one here.
It goes back to December 16th, 2019 is the first one.
Wow.
Do you know what you asked her to do on December 16th, 2019, Robert O'Neill?
No.
Drown you in a bathtub.
That was topical. I'm going to defend Bob. She was doing the vignettes at that time. Jeremy.
Yeah. See.
Okay. Someone in the chat cried, I am Crackerjack's head. I have questions about the logic behind asking women on Twitter to murder you. Even if the implication is good thing before death, you wouldn't really get to enjoy it. And then as you started reading the tweets, he said, okay, it's all adding up now.
Liv Morgan, drop a piano on my head. A lot of the just the please murder me image. Liv Morgan, please murder me, but also I like your hat. Just a lot of the please murder me
I told you.
stuff. Yes. I want Liv Morgan to run me over with a Volkswagen microbus.
Oh god, this is outrageous. We've never done a segment this insane. I love that Bob's just so like meek and mild about it. He's like, it's gonna be Liv, and she's it's gonna be some crazy ones. What are you gonna do, guys? It's a very normal thing to tweet.
Liv Morgan, drop a plugged-in toaster in my bath.
That one was from our good friend Confirmed Shoot.
You've done this one twice, so like you must really want this one. You must really want the toaster in the bath. Drive that car directly into me at full speed, then do it again. Incinerate me with a flamethrower. Douse me in kerosene and toss a match. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 53 of the Please Murder Me image.
What's insane about that is the first one was 18 months ago, which means there's probably about 70, 75 TVs since then, right? And we know Liv has missed many a TV, which means that it seems, percentage suggests, he has tweeted one every time she's appeared on television.
Yes.
Seems bad, Bob. We just run the mathematics here. We feel you've got a problem.
This is now an intervention. This is now an intervention.
Kylo said the feds just got to Bob. Bob just gets arrested live on Twitch.
No, it's just a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my god, man, that is unbelievable. You're actually on Fightful.com every week, right?
I enjoy being alive, and I think that's important to clarify here.
Oh my god, that was outrageous. That was just tremendous stuff. I don't know where we go from here, folks. You're going to give us some questions, not about Bob asking for death.
Who else have you done the murder me?
Oh no.
Here, O'Neill.
Well, I mean, I don't. I don't know. I mean.
Well, so you're saying there's a clear gap between 1 and 2?
Yeah, it seems so.
Like, you could put it for, like, Sasha Banks, too, but a lot of those tweets are also just going to be me getting my shit in, and...
Yeah, don't tweet. Don't type in on
No, I'm
Bob
not doing
O'Neill.
Sasha Banks from Robert O'Neill.
Having a lot of fun with that.
What was the one you did? You did an outrageous one about Fox. Top 10 followed wrestlers thing on Fox, where you was like, can't imagine being below 6. Oh, God. This is incredible.
Well, and again, Sasha Banks is very good. I like her quite a bit, but just the easiest people to rile up.
Yeah. Do you rile them up when you ask her to murder you? Because that feels like saying they'd probably just
He gets a lot of likes on the Murder Me Sasha Banks stuff. Sasha Banks caved my skull in with a Meteora challenge.
The Meteor? That's a wrestling move. Bob's basing for Lucha now so he can get murdered.
It's always the
You've done this one twice, O'Neill.
I'm sorry. I will try and mix it up a little bit if she's ever on television again. It's
so bad that the chat is just telling us names that they've seen Bob do this bit for. Like,
Really?
Joel said Rhea, Chris said Josie Black.
Yeah, I feel like Rhea Ripley. I feel like I've seen that one a lot. All right, let's go with Rhea Ripley here.
I'm with that vibe though, Bob. Like, I feel like Rhea would kill you. I like that.
Oh yeah,
I like that vibe. But it feels like a lot more restriction. You're asking Sasha Banks to kill you by a Meteora. Oh god. Jesus, Candice LeRae, Mia Yim, every woman on the roster's being suggested in the chat.
You have done Rhea Ripley push me down a flight of stairs challenge twice. The same month too. So Rhea Ripley pump handle slam me off of a bridge. Who else do we have? Candice LeRae.
I don't like.
You're a very big fan of the Johnny Gargano do not read Candice LeRae hello. This has been tweeted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
That's a good bit.
All within February 24th.
This is the best show we've ever done by far, by miles. And the last half an hour of it has just been like Bob tweets, just reading them out loud, counting them up. He asked Tegan Knox to push him into traffic.
O'Neal, on
You
February
lost me.
22nd, 2019, you said Mia Yim feels like an eventual NXT Women's Champion. Can confirm that did not happen.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
Damn.
Confirmed shoot said Tegan. He asked Tegan not to push me into traffic, and then it was.
Tegan Knox pushed me out of a moving car challenge. Tegan Knox pushed me in a traffic challenge. Tegan Knox choke slammed me off of a bridge. Pushed me out of a moving car. Apparently the moving car one is reserved for Tegan Knox. Do you have a spreadsheet of like, all right, if it's this wrestler, this is like the murder I'm associated with her? I hope you do.
No, they're just all spur of the moment off the top of my head.
Can I just say that my favourite was Rhea Ripley, please pump handle slam me off a bridge.
Oh, Dakota's a good one. I feel like I've seen you tweet about Dakota.
Jeez, good lord, Bob. This is terrible. I didn't realise I was going to incriminate.
Dakota Kai run me over with a car challenge. Zoe Stark got kicked right in the head by Dakota Kai, and I'm very jealous. Would like Kathy Kelly to run me over with a car, and then Dakota Kai to run me over with another car.
So someone asked if Bob's done this with Lily yet. Says so does Meltzer come out like Chris Hansen and tell Bob to have a seat.
Wish Kathy Kelly would drive a one-horse open sleigh right over me.
That was festive. That was festive.
Lot of Kathy Kelly running me over with the car. You've just tweeted Kathy Kelly, like nothing else, just Kathy Kelly. Like fair. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
do we have anybody else, chat, that we should be searching?
As long as he's not done it with the van, because
She wouldn't be off television. She'd have to be on television.
Bob's bowed out unless he's deleting tweets about the van. This tweet has made me realise that when the van eventually arrives on AEW Dark to work a 4-minute bout with Ty Conti, I can do a Bob tweet and people will Bob for it. All 50 people that watch the stream will be like, "What a moment that is!" Are these quote tweets or are they without context? They have no context other than just Alexa Bliss, March 6th, 2020. Alexa Bliss run me over with a truck.
Shotzi. I bet there's a lot of Shotzi. J. Mark Hart. Appreciate the follow.
This one, Joel, was just February 21st, 2020. Alexa Bliss drive me out to the middle of the desert and leave me to die a challenge.
Shotzi Blackheart run me over with a tank challenge. A lot of Shotzi run me over with a tank.
That seems lazy, doesn't it?
Yeah. There is a Shotzi Blackheart run me over with a coach bus challenge, so a different challenge. Are there any? I think the Tay Conti one. Yeah, he just does the cowboy hat. Yeah.
Which does rule. Confirm shoot is a big employer of the cowboy hat.
Also would like Tay Conti to push me off of a bridge. A lot of like bridge and vehicular related homicide.
Bro, it's easy to read these and find them funny, but you really have to let your imagination run wild and imagine Bob being pushed off a fucking bridge by Ty Conti. Wild-mannered Bob tweeting that stuff is so funny. Good God. This is why Jeremy thought we were going to get thrown off Fightful when we did the draft show. We didn't know what Bob was like in reality.
Yes.
This is why, because we knew, like, this, you know, there it is, the confirmed show. He loves that JR. Oh my good God. Where do we go from here, Jeremy?
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know.
Can you believe we're friends with this lunatic?
You are. I mean, I'm trying to distance myself.
You're a friend by association.
Yeah, unfortunately. Reevaluating a lot of things, Joseph. Gotta admit, reevaluating a lot of things.
Well, in terms of who you'd like to throw you off a bridge, or in terms of being friends with Robert O'Neill?
In terms of being friends with O'Neill and giving a platform every single week.
Jeremy, November 17th, 2019, Alexa Bliss thrown me off the Hollywood sign challenge. That one's a deep cut. That's tremendous.
Oh,
it seems like the Alexa ones predate the Liv ones, according to Joel.
Well, there you go. So, When was I'm search for when was the most recent Alexa Bliss one?
Yeah, I hope it's been a while.
The last one, no, it was May 10th. Spooky Alexa Bliss Possess Me Challenge.
That one seems innocent enough.
Sure. A lot of
I can't
Alexa
believe
Bliss
this
is
is still
spooky.
going.
O'Neal, if you tweet this much, it wouldn't keep going.
Wow. I mean, that's
We've
fair.
discovered that the Alexa bit actually predates the Liv Morgan bit.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but I think obviously you've rightly slowed down on that because of
Yeah.
We have Alexa Bliss run me over with a van in January. Alexa Bliss starts swinging full speed and jump off, delivering a knee right to my temple challenge.
Where has that come from? Run that one back, please.
Alexa Bliss starts swinging full speed and jump off, delivering a knee right to my temple challenge. I'm assuming this was during an Alexa
Swing
swing gimmick here.
Yeah,
Yeah, if I had to guess, that would make a lot of sense.
it's not ideal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest here.
Yeah.
I think you should probably rein those ones in a little bit. Oh, good God. Dan says it's the greatest distraction post show ever. It might be. It definitely is, in fact. The Alexa ones predate to July, it seems, Bob, according to Joel. It could be further back. He's working his way through the evidence.
I'm going. Let's see when they kind of start here. All right, we have O'Neal in June 2018. As you said, you're an Alexa Bliss fan account.
Same.
That was probably at Money in the Bank.
June
He was at
2018.
that, right,
Good
Bob?
morning to good morning to everyone, but especially Alexa Bliss, who is the best female wrestler in WWE.
But that one went well.
She won the title the night before, so yeah,
The crowd were very excited about that.
it was a big moment.
That was a good angle she shot with Ronda the next night too. I don't know if that was in the same, but that was a great angle they shot.
Mm-hmm.
Your first
That was good
tweet,
stuff.
your first tweet about Alexa Bliss goes back to August 2015. And do you know what you said about her in August 2015, Robert
Oh,
O'Neal?
God.
Oh God, what?
Maybe don't actually incriminate on this one. Is this bad?
Alexa Bliss has to work on those slaps.
Bro, listen. August 2015, Robert O'Neal talking about August 2015 Alexa Bliss. That could have been a whole lot worse. Okay, we should probably leave it there.
I agree. I do like. It seems like you did the Alexa Bliss Stan account for a good bit. July 2018. I have news. I went through Alexa Bliss's old tweets, and they are very basic white girl.
When did he tweet that one?
July 2018.
How far did you scroll to go back through these tweets, Bob? That sounds like a full investigation. Who would look up old tweets?
July 2018 was 15 years ago, so
Yes, but how many tweets did you go through? When did the Alexa Bliss start Twitter account? There's many questions I have now to follow up on that statement.
Wow, you tweeted Alexa Bliss is the big dog of the World Wrestling Federation.
Factual. Agreed.
that was true for a time. Yes,
That was in September 2018.
Bob and I are probably on very similar timelines here with this stuff, I feel. I'm just glad that Bob had a wholesome tweet in August 2. They could have turned this whole thing we're doing here. Bob's having fun, guys. He doesn't actually want to get pump handle slammed off of a bridge or meteored to death.
We're doing bits.
Yeah, man, doing bits. You know, guys, we're doing bits.
Everything.
Wow. Wow. That was a journey, folks. I don't know where we go. I guess that's just like the end, right?
Alexa Bliss, meet me at the Mall of America and throw me directly into the shark tank at the indoor aquarium.
Fair.
Again, it's the fault of that pops me. It is. It's the visual. I can't help but see the visual, and it just pops me. Oh, good God. Have we peaked here, Jeremy? Are we done?
I think who put this in the chat? Kyle. I think Anna J is going to be cowboy hat stuff. Yeah, and J cowboy hat.
Yeah, the AEW ones. I
They
mean,
get the cowboy hat.
the cowboy hat's the precedent.
Yeah.
So here's the big question: when Alexa finally moves to the All Elite fleet, are you going to start doing cowboy hats? Or are you going to continue with the more creative, like knee to the temple and stuff like that?
No, I mean you got to do the cowboy hat. That's how
Wow.
things go down there.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing how that pans out. I really am. Wow, you're getting like Twitter buzz now. This is very exciting. So I'm sorry to hear that, guys. Okay.
Ray, all the Britt Baker ones are, hey, did you guys know Britt Baker is a dentist?
She is.
Yes. There's a lot of those.
I think it would be smart for Bob to stick to the more generic ones where he just goes, says the name and just puts hello. You know, like I feel like they're a lot easier to trace in a sort of incriminating fashion. But I don't make Bob's decisions. He's an adult, right? He can do what he wants.
Yeah. No, we're having fun. This is a good time right here. Everyone thinks that it's a bit.
Sure is, Bob.
Your voice inflection on that certainly gave away that it was a bit.
Oh man, it's incredible. People like consider the stuff he tweets, right? Like it's worth noting that if you just didn't get any of this stuff, you didn't know Bob, you would think he's an absolute lunatic, and he may well be. I don't know him that well, but when you're in on the bits, it's just like, oh, Bob's doing it again.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny that they all get the engagement that they do, and
Yeah, this is why I like can't stand you, is because you tweet shit like this or generic shit, and they get all these likes.
I know you
What
told
was
me
the
that.
one?
I thought you were mad at me the other
I
day.
know.
What was this? Tell me
thought we had
this.
heat, and,
We'll close on this, okay? What did you tweet, Bob, that Jeremy got upset? Jeremy texted to me and was like, "Look at this fucking idiot."
Hold
He
on,
was so angry about it.
I'll scroll
What
up
was
on
it?
our text, Joseph, because we text a fair amount, but not enough to where I can't easily find it. I feel like it was something like about Nick Khan or some shit.
Like,
Oh,
always
Nick-
got a great one from when Trish in August 2019. Trish Stratus, take out a high interest loan that you forced me to co-sign on, even though you have no intention to ever pay it back.
Wow.
The depth of that tweet is extraordinary. Wow. This is what makes Bob so. He's actually very witty and he has a very funny way of working things. So it makes it even funnier when he goes outrageous as he does here with the
O'Neal is
Lady
getting
Wrestlers.
star ratings
When?
for Evolution.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a time when I would write recaps for the weekly TVs and pay-per-views, and then I realized I can't do that anymore, or I'm going to go insane.
You gave Becky and Charlotte 5 stars, Robert O'Neal.
It was very good.
I mean, it was a good match. I agree. All right, let me find this tweet O'Neal sent. It was from June 2nd, so it was really only last week. That was further back than that.
Oh god. Things are going so slow.
Do what?
Things are going so slow.
Yeah.
How's it only been a week?
No idea. JJ with some bits. Appreciate it, JJ. Okay. All right, here we go. O'Neal says, I will say it's a bit of an interesting time for WWE where they have Nick Khan, who has no ties to wrestling whatsoever, basically second in command at this point. This shitty tweet got 17 retweets and 98 likes.
Oh man.
And
What did you text me?
I replied to O'Neal and I just said, I hate you. And I texted Joseph, O'Neal sucks so much and this gets over. I hate him.
Yeah, and I
I
thought you
will
were
say-
really upset.
Dude, Confirmed Shoot said, guys, don't go into Bob doing star ratings. That's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's true. Bob sold more for the star ratings than he did for the many tweets about death and demanding women kill him. Oh. Just want to remember, folks. Can this even go on Fightful Scraps, bro?
I mean, I'm going to post it and we'll see what happens.
I mean, look, in all seriousness, we all know Bob's harmless, right? I mean, look at him, bless his
Yes.
beast. Yeah. Look at his little face. He don't mean any harm. He's trying to pop people on Twitter. At least you don't at the wrestlers, because every wrestler you did this for gets much worse stuff in their ads. So,
yeah.
Yes.
No, come on.
Yeah.
That's no.
100%.
Gurney Mac says you once asked Mandy Rose to rip out your eyelashes. Oh, man.
Oh my god. Alright. We're done with this show.
Yeah.
I don't know what else we can do at this point.
Been a great ride. It should be the end of Distraction. We should never come back.
This should have been our show for next week, honestly.
Oh my god, imagine we got 5,000 people watching Bob's tweets just get read out. Like,
This is what our show for next week
man.
should have been.
This was fun.
it was. I'm glad you had fun, Bob, because I don't... not the ideal way to spend your evening. I appreciate it, but it was very funny. It's all stuff you tweet. We're not like exposing shit you've said prior. You tweet it. It's fun, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's all out there.
It is indeed all out there. You might want to change that and delete it all, but it's out there. So you should have a segment of Bob reading his own shit tweets. That's something, though. There's something to Bob O'Neill's Corner 3 being just a Twitter segment. That's something. We can work with that, Bob. Maybe not these particular tweets, but there's something fun tweet. Tope Suicida said my favourite is that Bob doesn't remember tweeting these, but nods along like, yeah, I probably said that.
No, how am I going to remember all of these?
Yeah.
Come on.
You tweet a lot, Robert.
Yeah.
Like, you tweet a lot. Sometimes it's okay to just log off,
Disagree.
All right, everybody. I'm gonna do 2:05 live post here, and then I'm gonna log off.
Sorry to hear that.
O'Neill, do you want to plug anything? Please don't plug your Twitter.
Well, I think everyone knows my Twitter at this point, but patreon.com/distraction. Joseph and I talked about Brock Lesnar last week, I believe that was. And we are watching the first NWA TNA weekly pay-per-view this weekend.
Indeed. What an exciting thing that will be. I'm sure we won't veer back into these kind of conversations as that show airs in the background, but we shall see, folks. It should be fun. Bob done my only real plug, really. So there you go. Enjoy it. Have a good night, folks, and all that good stuff.
Let's see who we can raid. We will be back here on this channel 7:45. Impact co-stream, watch along, whatever. No, I'm not watching the game tonight, guys. I'm logging off to avoid anything about the game. I retired. Go to Patreon, and you can read my retirement post. I've retired. Yeah. Impact co-stream, 8 o'clock. Joel Pearl, Steven Jensen, and I guess I can say Tempest from Wrestle Talk and that gimmick will be on it as well. Come join us, hang out. Oh, it's out there. Joel Pearl says it's out there. All right, I don't really pay attention to you, Joel, on Twitter, so I didn't know. We'll return the favor to Stephen Larson, who are streaming. We'll raid them. Everyone say hi. Say hi to them. They hate wrestling as much as we do.
Tremendous. What a stream, folks.
Give everybody go into Stephen Larson's chat and start him off with Stephen Larson throw me off of a bridge challenge. That's the first comment everyone needs to
handle
post.
slam me off the bridge.
Chat. Yeah. Everyone, y'all have a good night. Enjoy your night, everybody.
Oh, shit.